على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون بالبينات والزبر وأنزلنا إليك الذكر لتبين للناس ما نزل إليهم ولعلهم يتفكرون أفأمن الذين مكروا السيئات أن يخسف الله بهم الأرض أو يأتيهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون أو يأخذهم في تقلبهم فما هم بمعجزين أو يأخذهم على تخوف فإن ربكم لرؤوف رحيم صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. We did not send messengers before you other than men, whom we inspired with wahi or revelation. فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. So ask the people having the knowledge of the reminder, which means the previous books. إن كنتم لا تعلمون, if you do not know. بالبينات والزبر. We sent them, the prophets that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about, bil bayyinat was zubur, with clear signs, and zubur, scriptures. So one book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, its name is Zabur, and all the books, any sort of scriptures, they can be called zubur. So zubur, collective noun for all the divine scriptures from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bayyinat here would mean clear signs, which are the mu'jizat or the miracles of Anbiya. وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ الذِّكْرَ, and upon you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we sent down the dhikr. Again, like we said last night, dhikr is used for divine scriptures, and also when it said a-dhikr, it is particularly about the Quran. لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we gave you the Quran so that you explain it to the people. مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ, what has been revealed for them. وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, and so that they may ponder. At several other places in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also mentioned the purpose of sending the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he explains the Quran, he trains the hearts of people, he tells people how to recite the Quran, he explains things of wisdom through his ahadith and through elaborating on the meaning of the Quran. So therefore, it was perfectly possible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Hazrat Mufassirin have made this discussion, that it was perfectly possible and within the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that these Arab people would have woken up one morning and they would have found the complete Quran right on their bedside. They would be able to read it because they knew Arabic. Still, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and with every single Nabi, every single book before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there came a person first who was a living example of goodness before the people, and people used to love him and respect him. And then he was given the book, and then he was told to teach them and explain to them the book. Therefore, the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam are the explanation of the Quran, and Quran cannot be understood without the words and the sayings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those people who, na'uzu billah, sometimes try to question the authenticity of a hadith, the matter of hadith itself, saying that the Quran has been preserved but we do not know about the hadith, they are on the wrong path, they are on a path to destruction, and they have no connection, no relationship with Islam, because they are disconnecting a very core source of deen, a very core hujjat, a very core evidence of deen, which is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam repeated his words multiple times to the Sahaba so that they could memorize it. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made sure how they were acting upon those words so that he could make sure that they have understood and applied it on their lives properly. and the Prophet ﷺ entrusted the Sahaba with the preservation of Hadith, and every single point of time from the Prophet ﷺ up to now, there are people who have preserved the Hadith, and the ulama muhaddiseen of the mutaqaddimin, the earlier ones, the predecessors, they have gone to such length that they have traveled many miles, many hundreds of miles and thousands of miles, and met the Sahaba and authentic teachers of Hadith, and verified every single Hadith from different angles, from different sources. And when they found out that there was any questionability in any Hadith, in the lineage or the narration of the Hadith, the chain of narration of the Hadith, they have also mentioned that. So therefore, those Ahadith which were famous among the Sahaba, general knowledge among the Sahaba, those are considered as authentic as the Quran itself. If there is many Sahaba who agree to one Hadith, then it becomes as important and as significant as the Quran, because this is how the Quran has also been given to us, that a general large body of Sahaba agreed that this is the Quran. So such kind of hadith are called hadith mutawatira. Such hadith, the hadith mutawatira, which are famous knowledge among the Sahaba, and the Quran, they are on the same level. Quran itself is a hadith mutawatira, in a way that the general body of Sahaba, many Sahaba, famously agreed that this is what it is. So therefore, these kind of hadith, if somebody knows that this is a hadith with tawatur, and somebody says that I do not believe in this hadith, they will not be a Muslim. They will no longer be a Muslim. It is equal to denouncing and negating the Quran, belying the Quran. So the Prophet ﷺ, without him, without his person, without his words, Quran cannot be understood. And if the general meaning, if today somebody says that this is a clear ayah of the Quran, it means this, but we know that in the hadith it has been explained in this manner, then the hadith is going to be taken, that is credible. What our understanding is not important. أَفَأَمِنَ الَّذِينَ مَكَرُوا السَّيِّئَاتِ وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the Prophet ﷺ explains it to them, and they may, so that they may do fikr, they may do tafakkur, and they may ponder over it. أَفَأَمِنَ الَّذِينَ مَكَرُوا السَّيِّئَاتِ أَن يَخْسِفَ اللَّهُ بِهِمُ الْأَرْضَ أَوْ يَأْتِيَهُمُ الْعَذَابُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Do those people who make these plans, contrive these evil plots, they feel immune, they feel protected that from Allah, that Allah can make them sink into the earth, or from the punishment that comes from them, from where they would not perceive. So in Badr, 1,000 young, valiant, courageous men, fully armed, they were defeated by 313 very poorly equipped, weak people. So Allah subhanahu, this is particular reference to Badr, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could give them adab from a place where they don't even imagine. أَوْ يَأْخُذَهُمْ فِي تَقَلُّبِهِمْ فَمَا هُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seizes them when roaming about, while they are not able to frustrate Him. So it's not that there is only one punishment that will come on the day of judgment, but punishment can come in any form, from anywhere, from where they perceive or where they do not perceive at any time. أَوْ يَأْخُذَهُمْ عَلَىٰ تَخَوُّفٍ فَإِنَّ رَبَّكُمْ لَرَؤُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Or Allah could seize them with a different kind of punishment, which is while they are in apprehension. Takhawwuf, there is two meanings reported. One is khawf, from khawf, which is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroys one group of them in such a way that the other group becomes very afraid. Then that group is destroyed, so the third group becomes very afraid, and slowly and gradually, so on and so forth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes them, a slow, gradual punishment, and finishes and annihilates all of them. But it is reported that Sayyidina Umar Khattab radiallahu anh went onto the mimbar and asked the Sahaba, what do you know about this word takhawwuf? What is the meaning of this word takhawwuf? And nobody spoke. Then finally a person from Qabila, from the tribe of Hudayl, stood up and said that this is a famous word in our language, and it means not takhawwuf. When we say takhawwuf, we mean tanaqqus, that slow decrease, loss of life, loss of things. So here the meaning is that Allah can give you a slow punishment, that you start losing things slowly and slowly, and you have tanazzul, you are downgraded from where you are towards your end slowly. So that is also one kind of punishment that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give. At this, Sayyidina Umar Khattab radiallahu anh said that, "O people," first he verified from it, he said, "Do you have any poetry from the days of ignorance to prove what you are saying?" And then he told him a couplet where takhawwuf has been used as the meaning of tanaqqus or decrease. And then he said that, "O people, there is no harm for you in learning the poetry of the days of ignorance, because it helps you understand the Quran, the language of the Quran." And from this it is proven that Quran can only be understood by understanding the language of that time, not today's time. The language of the way people used to speak at that time, their muhawra, their way of speaking, what they used to mean from those words, Quran has come on their language, not on our language, not on the Arabs of the current time even, because Arabic has changed so much. So therefore we should understand that Quran cannot be understood from a dictionary. Quran cannot be understood from a translation. For understanding the Quran, you have to understand the Hadith, you have to understand the ways of the Sahaba, the life of the Sahaba, and you have to know the language of that time as well. So therefore may Allah protect us when people try to understand and learn the Quran and become muftis and mufakkir and mufassir based on dictionaries and translations. May Allah protect us from such people. Rabbana taqabbal minna. The last part of the ayah, fa inna rabbakum la ra'ufur rahim. Indeed your Lord is very kind, very merciful. In this there is a meaning that all the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially the kind which is of takhawwuf or tanaqqus, which is that slow decrease, that you are seeing something is decreasing, then you should become alarmed and you should think that if such things are happening to me, am I doing something wrong? Am I losing out on my connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ra'uf and Rahim. Out of His mercy He gives these warning signs, and He is very kind and very merciful. He is always willing to take us back in His mercy. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذي أهلك وخاصتك. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.